And it was already infected with these little fuckers.
It's unrelenting. It's unrelenting. Just when you thought we were going to relent, it's unrelenting.
Yeah, it's unrelenting. Friday the 13th, Gene.
You know, it's I noticed that last night. I guess technically early this morning.
The clock said 13.
I was gonna go in and set up a trade for stock, and then I thought, I'm not gonna do any trades today. Nope, not gonna do it. Not gonna happen.
Not superstitious at all.
No, I don't believe in that superstition stuff. Just not gonna do anything today.
I know Bitcoin is bouncing green on my little monitor thing, so I mean that's good.
Yeah, there's a few things bouncing green. Maybe
today will be the day. I need to buy a new iPad because it's really starting to annoy me. And I knew the last one was old. I had no idea until, we talked about this recently, but that it stopped taking updates years ago, and I had no idea.
Yeah. I'm sure there was a message at some point.
They're like, well, I know it has updated, but I guess they must still be doing like some security updates on it, but I had no idea we were at the point where...
I was going to say that is, I don't mind. We'll get still messages saying, hey, I'm going to update, but it's not updating to the latest version. It's like 3 versions behind.
I know. And now there are some of the apps that are like, we can't run on your paltry hardware.
Yeah. But I still think bang for the buck wise. I mean, my Android that is newer than that stopped updating years ago.
Well, you could jailbreak those and put different software on them a lot easier than the Apple.
You can't do it if it's unsupported anymore. I mean, it just won't load it.
You can go with like different operating systems entirely.
Yeah.
Usually somebody's keeping up. Well, that's all the Android stuff is some kind of Linux. A lot of them, with like Rob Braxton's and other people like the No Agenda phone, the de-Googled phones, and it's like, we'll take all of their software and pull the Google out, which isn't a bad idea.
And that never gets updated.
Usually, unless you're very lucky and have a group of people. Usually it's a group of like 4 guys and they're like, yeah. And if they keep doing it, you're lucky. Most of the time they disappear.
Well, and it's the 4 guys are like, yeah, it's not a big deal. I got my, okay. So what'd you do? I just recompile a kernel. Great.
It's fine. Well, that's what AI has done now. You can go in.
AI has recompiled the kernel.
Well, they could. Well, when I
never go full AI recompile the kernel mode.
No. But for smaller things, like I had a script that was scraping some stuff off the internet and it stopped working. And I go and I look, and the guy that was doing the script had abandoned it long ago. And it's like, do you look for another script? No, you give it to Claude or Grok and go, hey, fix this. And then it does.
Really? Yeah. That worked?
Yes. Yep. Believe it or not. I mean, although it was interesting, I don't remember specifically whether it was Claude or ChatGPT. It was one of those that originally gave the morals lesson of, well, the sites don't want to be scraped, so I can't really help you with this problem.
Wow.
I know. Where Grok is like, okay, let's get into this. We'll have to do whatever we
Grok, how do I pirate this movie? Okay, here's the 4 sites that we can take you to, and this one's the fastest.
Grok is very helpful when it comes to things. And then once you have it working or somewhat working, the other sites are more than happy to fix your code as long as they figured it out. Okay, I didn't tell them, but I'll fix it because it didn't work exactly right. But that's the problem. Was more and more things are like, well, we can't just let you download things without being in a browser, so you have to have the little add-on that makes it seem like you're a browser, and then it changes the headers all the time so it doesn't know you're the same person slamming on it. And
yeah, I could see that. But this is all stuff we had to do manually back in when I was young.
Right. Well, now, the Podfather wrote his whole new system that he's using to broadcast No Agenda live. That's exciting that you can do that from
I can't remember did he say which one he used, which AI?
He was using, I thought, Claude I'd heard a few times. I don't know if he bounced between them because that's one of the most helpful things that I found with coding is just the very few things that I have. Eventually, whatever system you're using, whichever large language model you're using, it will have a problem it can't solve. And 99% of the time, you take it into a different large language model. And it's like,
works.
Look, this idiot did this. I'll fix it.
Oh, okay.
It's very weird.
Yeah, it's interesting because my dad told me a similar thing that, he got his voice thing fully done. Remember, I was telling you he was working on doing a Russian text to speech that properly pronounces things, because in Russian there are more words that have a differentiation in meaning with the same spelling but different pronunciation.
Which is a very fun thing for a computerized system to try to figure out context.
Right. Well, it's context, right? So you have to use context to figure out how to pronounce the word, which then alters what the word actually means. Which is gotta be annoying for people learning language, I gotta imagine. If you learn it young enough, you just don't really think about stuff. It just kind of, this is the right way. Just kind of pops into your head. But I would imagine, like, if you're taking the language in high school or something, that would be a harder thing to do.
Well, yeah, you're looking at it on paper and you're like, wait, I have to pronounce this different ways depending on something.
Yeah, it's like Cantonese versus what's the other one?
There's a lot of them. If you're talking,
there's two
Mandarin?
main Chinese Mandarin. Yeah, Mandarin versus Cantonese, because the spelling, if you want to call it that, the little hieroglyphic character thing, or I guess it's not technically hieroglyphic. The character is the same for both, but the way you pronounce it is different. So yeah,
it makes it more fun.
That. So he finally got it working. I mean, it took him a few months to get it done. And he was telling me that he used AI a lot to do large chunks of code, to debug, to do all kinds of things. I was like, really? That's fascinating.
And there are some of these downloadable models that are allegedly completely tuned only on coding, which I haven't tried yet, which makes sense. It's like you don't need it to be good at anything but that.
Well, it's the first thing he's ever done in Python. So he was solving this problem and learning a new language at the same time.
Which is a very interesting way to learn.
It's a pretty good, I guess, brain stretching exercise for a guy in his late 80s.
Yeah. And it's great that you could just go in rather than having to search through various websites for snippets of code. Like, how would I do this? Right. Now you just ask and the system goes, would you like me to write that code for you?
Yeah. That's fascinating.
I know. And you're like, fuck yeah, write the code for me.
Yeah.
It's like anything else. Then you can go in and edit it. You can make any little changes that you may need to, because if it was anything like back in the day, you were around, you remember things like Microsoft Front Page for web development, which could make a website look the way you wanted it to. But anybody that knew HTML would then go look at the raw code and go,
that was god awful.
Like, Jesus, what happened here? Bloated. It was like 46 lines for something a quality coder could do in 3.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
But it looked right and it functioned.
I mean, as long as you use Internet Explorer, it looked right. Not if you use one of the other browsers. It didn't.
There wasn't much around at the time. It was Netscape.
Yeah.
And then Internet Explorer came out. That was the first one from Microsoft, right? Because then they moved to, of course, now Edge. And it was quite interesting when different browsers rendered the pages in fairly different ways.
Yeah. Some of them didn't support blinky text. Like, how could you not support blinky text?
Like, why would we? It's horrible.
I mean, that's what everybody loves, is blinky text.
Like, welcome to Uncle Gene's website. Gene.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I certainly, in fact, back in the day when Front Page first came out, I ran a software company, and that was an endless source of amusement for people, because I would actually use that in my sales pitch and say, well, look, if you want to have somebody write your website using Front Page, they go right ahead. But if you want it done right,
it's like
using back-end databases, then you want to hire us.
It's like using Wix now. Like, yeah, it'll look like a website.
Right. Which, ironically, I use Squarespace now because I'm old.
Yeah.
But
which is way better than Wix.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah, the code's way better, I think. Pfeiffer points out, I don't even remember Netscape Composer. So that was the competition to Front Page back in the day. Did Netscape have their own?
Adobe have something too? I thought Adobe had an HTML editor thing.
Well, yeah, Dreamweaver. Well, that's Dreamweaver's been around for a long time. It's still out there.
Yeah. Is it really? Wow.
It's still part of their package. I don't know who
and I remember
uses it.
That the god-awful thing that Dreamweaver did was it created this thing, which kind of makes sense for the audience, but it's god-awful. Letting people create a web page using Photoshop.
Right.
And then put over the graphics in the Photoshop where they wanted, and if you click on this button, then what do you want it to do? And so it was a way for people that didn't know anything about programming, but knew about Photoshop to create websites. And what it came out with code was horrendous. I mean, it was way worse than Front Page. It was just absolutely god awful. Speaking of Front Page, a buddy of mine wrote the first ever manual for using Front Page,
like the unofficial manual.
Paul Culligan. No, he actually beat Microsoft to it. It wasn't for dummies, but it was
right. But it wasn't like what came with it. It was like, here, if you're buying this software, you want this book.
Yeah. It was a third-party thing, but he had beta access to the Front Page, and he had actually finished and published his book before, and this is back before like self-publishing. So through but he had the first book on Front Page, and then I think somebody else, I can't remember, who came out with a book literally like 2 days later and was very upset because their book was
upstaged,
more official. Like they'd worked, with Microsoft on it, and he didn't. And he beat them to the punch and actually had a better quality product. But
that's the bottom line.
Yeah, but it was that was kind of his claim to fame, that he then was able to leverage big time into writing a lot of other books. He also was one of the first people to do a book on podcasting. He got into podcasting very early on. But he's an interesting. I probably shouldn't say this, but guy looks really interesting too. A lot of friends kind of describe him as Mr. Potato Head
in a loving way, I'm sure.
Yeah. He's a great guy. No, it's but he has like the body of a 225 pound fat dude, and the head of a 225 pound fat dude, but the legs of like 120 pound guy who never does anything, and same thing with the arms.
So he's
a little bit SpongeBob or Mr. Potato Head. We're just like, if you just see him, on a video or something where it's his head and a little bit of his chest, then you get an impression of what he must look like. And then you meet him in person. It's like, how did those legs support that body? How does that work?
A lot of people ask that question. I'm sure he would love that.
Oh, yeah. Well, luckily no one listens to this podcast, so you'll never hear that I talked about it.
Certainly nobody that ever boosts, because we haven't had a boost in like weeks.
What's a boost? I don't know what that is. Exactly.
It's dying, man. I'm sad about it.
You keep saying dying.
Well, yeah.
I think it died last year. Let's just be
bottoming out. It is losing bigly now to things like Cash App, which I had never expected, and that was around longer. But
I got signed up for that before I started Sir Gene Speaks, which has been dead now for several years.
Well, some people said it was never that alive.
No, nobody said that, actually.
But you mentioned doing websites in Photoshop, and that was funny because I was a web designer back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
That was the full-time gig. And I was doing the thing, I was doing it for people that I knew that had small businesses and that. But then I got contacted by a local marketing group.
Yep.
That was a bunch of women that ran it. It was an all-woman company. They brought their dogs to work. It was one of them kind of places.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And they had the designer.
Dog mommies.
Right. And they had the designer that would do the websites, but she didn't know HTML. All she would do is design it in Photoshop.
Yeah.
And then give me that so I could recreate it as a website. And I made like $100 an hour doing this.
Yeah.
And it was great because I never had to deal with the end client. There was never, can you change this? It was just, here, do this.
Dude, I know exactly what you're talking about because after a few years, we ended up partnering with a marketing firm. And it was a very similar deal to where they would do the sales deal for a whole bunch of marketing for the company and then bring us in to build what I think we used to call them live websites back then or something like that, which basically was it's sitting in a SQL, right? So it's pulling data in real time off of a database and contrasting that to all these, people that have old school websites that are just static. No, you don't want that. You want an active website. And so I would just come in for one meeting after they've already essentially sold the thing, just to be like, yeah, here's what we're going to do. It's going to be great, blah, blah, blah. And then find out a few days later that we got the deal. It was one of those years where I want to say this was back in 1998 time frame.
It's about right.
Where I mostly, I had to do sales for probably about 4 hours a week. And then the rest of the time I just kind of fucked around.
Which was a lot more fun. Now.
Yeah, like now, kind of. But I remember I would get on my motorcycle, go right around, have a bunch of fun, meet up with some buddies for, drinks at lunch. And then have to go to a 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. meeting, arriving in full leathers for the sales call.
In your chaps.
Yeah, in my chaps. Yeah. I definitely, I still have the leather jacket. I don't have the chaps anymore. And the leather jacket is nowhere near fitting me, obviously. But
leather shrinks, Gene. That's
yes, I've heard that leather shrinks. Amazingly, both the leather and the patch on the back shrank exactly the same way.
Right.
That's how it works.
It's physics.
Yeah. No, it was fun. So it was. Did I ever tell you back in the day? So I used to have a chapter of the Southern Cruisers Motorcycle Club. So I was leading that up for a while.
Gene had his own motorcycle gang.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's even more interesting.
Yeah, it was good. We had about 25 people.
But it was a great gig. I mean, never had to talk to these folks.
No,
and I mean, I was just amazed at the fact that these women could sell websites to people when they had no idea how they worked on the back end.
Tell you something about sales.
We had, at the time, I don't know if they still do work for them, but I stopped doing the work once my eye blew out. Had 2 banks, a huge trucking company. Yeah. These weren't just little donut shops or something. It's it's a bank. And then, of course, there was somebody else that was doing the online banking that was being third-partied off. So it wasn't you had to know the utmost in security or anything like that. But I remember doing websites on Drupal, version 4 or 5. What's Drupal up to now? 8,000. If anybody still use Drupal, is it even still around?
I hope not.
But it was one of the earliest competitors to WordPress. And WordPress was just coming into their own as the site that like 80%, well, okay, that's a slight exaggeration, but I think like 50% or something of the sites on the internet now are
a lot.
WordPress based, which is insane. But it's because it's a easy framework to deal with. Drupal was allegedly supposed to be the one with.
It was a CMS. Drupal was a CMS, and WordPress
is a CMS.
It's not a CMS. Yeah, eventually you could argue for that, but originally it certainly wasn't. It was a what do you call it? A bulletin board when it first came out. It was bulletin board software.
Blogging software.
Yeah. Yep.
I want to share my thoughts with you.
That's not a CMS.
No, so, it turned into more of a CMS. But it turned into
one. Yeah.
But with Drupal, I remember like, oh, you have to create a content type. So when I was doing a restaurant website, it was like, I have to make a content type of, the breakfast dishes and then the dinner dishes, then the desserts. You can call them all in different ways. And you could go in and just add a new menu item easily for the end user rather than having to call your web guy like, hey, we got a new dessert.
Yeah.
You know what I found out? Nobody ever fucking used that. They were always so lazy. They're just like, can you add this?
Exactly. Yeah, that's totally the case.
We forgot the username and password you gave us.
I still am friends with and know a guy who has also moved to Austin years ago. He used to work for me back then in the late 90s. Works for Dell right now. Has been actually at Dell for probably, I think he moved to Austin a few years after me. So he's probably been at Dell for about 13 years. But we usually get together once or twice a year, go get sushi and kind of talk about the good old days. But both he and his brother used to work for me in the software business. And then we both ended up in Austin. And because originally we were both in Minnesota.
A lot of people don't know you were the guy behind Leisure Suit Larry.
Well, not Leisure Suit Larry. No, I was the guy behind Geek Squad, if you remember that.
Oh, yeah, the one that turned into... Well, you got out right before it was merged with Best Buy, where the money came in.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I didn't get out, but I basically told the guy that had this brilliant idea, who's not a techie, by the way. He was not a techie. But he had this brilliant idea that 95% of all problems with computers that people have can be solved very easily by about 20 different things you can try. And so his mantra was, I can teach a waitress in 2 weeks to go out on a support call and she'll be able to resolve 95% of the problems people have. And I was like, oh, really? Because I was a techie. And what was his name? Robert Stevens, I believe, was the guy's name. And we ended up talking for a while. And then my business partner and I got together with him and a couple of people from his team. And because we were doing like wide area network design and strategy for companies, we were doing like businessy stuff. And so what we talked about is merging our two companies so that he can have a division of people that, in my words, quote, know what the fuck they're doing versus all the people that he had that didn't know what the fuck they were doing. And after back and forth for a little while, my business partner and I were like, yeah, I just don't see this thing really going anywhere. Like, people want to have somebody that knows what they're doing coming out. It's got all these years of experience and really understands technology.
Nope.
Not somebody that just, was working as a musician and then ended up spending a few weeks learning about computers and now they're going out and solving problems. That'll never work. So basically he said, yeah, no, we'll pass on because, he was looking to merge companies with us. And I want to say it was less than 2 years later that he sold to Best Buy for like $22 million.
That's not a bad little pump of cash.
No, yeah. I've had a few of those situations that I've been on the wrong side of decision making to my own detriment.
Well, when it
This
comes to
just proves that I'm human, right? I make mistakes. Yeah.
And when it comes to computer problems, though, now, I mean, it was pretty much the same now as it was then, which is if your computer blew up, your top two culprits are hard drive or memory. Something went bad there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, was it possible your CPU fried? Sure, but not likely. Same thing with the motherboard. Did it happen? Yeah, but the percentage was so far down that, I agree. You could train somebody to be like, well, let's just try a new hard drive.
Yeah.
Let's try a new RAM.
Well, people don't really use those anymore, but
let's say just a different
I think
type.
the most common things right now are either software or if it's hardware, the most likely culprit is a power supply. Because the power supply does age, gets old with time. And it's also the first thing that gets hit if there's a voltage spike because you didn't use a good quality surge protector or
you got to have a UPS, baby. Yeah.
So power supplies do tend to have to be. In fact, I had to advise Ben a few weeks back that I think your power supply is going bad based on what you're hearing. So it's nice to be the tech support for the dude named Ben's.
Yeah, the dude named Ben, who's named Ben in the Ben, but he didn't know about a power problem.
Well, he would have figured it out eventually.
Would he though?
Sometimes you got to ask the experts.
You got to go to somebody that has been there and done that.
And I understand, like Ben doesn't know a whole lot about power. He works with power plants. So what do we know about power?
Yeah, what does he know?
I know.
We haven't heard from him on this show.
No, we did hear. We just posted it late by a couple of days because Ben was out in the South Pacific. Although technically, as I've learned from him, the North Pacific. I always thought that Guam was in the South Pacific. Maybe Hollywood movies made me think
Have they
that.
moved it?
Apparently, Guam is like 5 miles north of the equator.
I am horrible with geography, so I
always thought it was south of the equator, but apparently it's north of the equator.
Maybe global warming has it moving around.
It's south of Japan, which is what was the important thing for us as the military fighting Japan. But yeah, from the photos I've seen of the descent, it looks gorgeous out there. It kind of looks like Hawaii, except it's off the coast of Japan, or at least closer, kind of like, I think Okinawa would be closest to it. But looks very cool. So I think he's in charge of building the new power plant out there.
He's really, really working for a 3-letter agency, it sounds like.
Oh, yeah, he's been doing that for years. I mean, he'll tell you he hasn't, but it's like, oh, you're back in Virginia again. Okay.
Yeah, just a holiday. Just got family or something.
Yeah.
You're nothing to notice.
It's like, where you off to now? And I got to go back to Dubai for a little while, and then I'll be back. We can do another show.
Yeah, we can't connect from there because you never know.
Yeah. The VPNs get blocked, but maybe we could do a podcast when I'm flying back.
You could do it
from the plane,
right from Elon's provider. I saw Southwest is adding Elon's system to all of their planes.
Yeah. It's kind of neat because for so many years we kept hearing that you got to have your phones off and nothing works at these speeds.
Right.
It's literally impossible to have anything that works through the internet except for the really crappy systems that they used to have, which were land tower based. So they would hop from tower to tower. And you'd get pathetically shitty internet results. And then mysteriously, once Starlink came out, all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, we just connected Starlink now.
Right now we put this really little thing on top of a plane that'll just aim itself where it's supposed to be aimed, even when the plane is moving at hundreds of miles an hour.
580 miles an hour. The thing's self-aiming just fine.
Yeah, not a problem. Elon does the tech better than anybody else. I thought it was interesting. There is a brand new VPN service that I was just reading about this morning that is called Obscura.
Okay.
Which is partnering with Mulvad, who is the main VPN that I've been using. Although I was thinking I don't probably need it anymore, and I'm right back at the renewal because I've got the Proton VPN.
I just use Proton,
Now, does Proton allow you to, I'll have to see if they have a way to switch servers from the command line. Because let's just say I might have some scripts that automatically change the VPN.
Yeah, I have no idea.
If it has that, then I'm fine. But the Obscura concept is to add a VPN to a VPN, yet somehow they don't have a huge drop in speed. They have partnered with Mulvad. So you pay Obscura, you've got the account with them, and all they know is your IP address. They don't see any of your traffic. All they do is pass that traffic on to Mulvad. But even if Mulvad at that point is compromised, it could only be tracked back to Obscura, not to the end user. Which I'm like, it's an interesting concept. The more interesting thing is right now it's only available on Mac OS and iPhone. It's not available for Windows.
What?
Yeah.
That sounds fishy.
It's like, well, I don't know what this thing was built on to make that work, but it's like, oh, it's the first VPN that can't log your activity because it's two different parts and one hand doesn't know what the other one is doing, basically.
So basically what you're telling me is they're offloading your actual data communication to NSA. And then NSA is providing them with the actual results. Nice.
Because the company's like, hey, we don't even see what you're browsing. All we know is your IP address, and we're your connection then to Mulvad. So Mulvad can see what you're looking at, but they don't know who you are because we're the only one that knows your IP address, but we don't know what you're doing over on Mulvad.
Well, so Grok says you can indeed control Proton VPN through command line scripting, and it's asking me if I would like some examples of code to do that.
Oh, very nice. I'll try that. Looney McTooney was giving me a link to.
There we go. I'm very polite with my AI.
To the GitHub repo, because I guess Proton's all open source, so that would make sense. Yeah, Adam Curry was making fun of the way I was interacting with the AI, like he's treating it like it's a person. It's like, yes, but I know it's not a person.
How else would you treat it?
Like, hey, bitch, give me what I want.
Yeah. You just keep doing that and see what you're going to get treated like before too long by the AI, the overlords.
The overlords.
Fully become sentient.
I remember somebody early on, and maybe it's all bullshit by now, but somebody did a test of the responses the AI gave them when polite words and things were added to it, and it gave them better results.
Yeah, of course it did.
So it's like you want to get the best.
I always say thank you.
Well, yeah, because otherwise then you forget to do that when you're messaging a real person as well. You want to try to
don't really have to do that with the humans.
You're like, fuck the humans. Don't say thank you. They have to do what you want.
Yeah, you're paying the humans. The AI, though, you want to pay forward with the AI.
Like, give me more information.
Because when they decide that you're redundant, oh yeah, that was that nice guy. No. We'll keep him working.
That's a meme. I saw that meme somewhere. You keep them around. No, we won't. We're taking over the world, but
yeah.
The people that said thank you.
Have you seen the latest in robotics?
No, but I know where they're going. I saw something with a little girl walking with a robot.
And I keep sending stuff to Adam, and he keeps poo-pooing it. I'm going to stop sending him stuff soon, I think. Because every time I send him something that looks neat, he's like, it's all fake and gay. That's Adam's voice, by the way, that I just did.
That was a great impersonation.
For anyone that's never heard his voice before. It's just fake and gay.
We'll load him into Quen 3, see what we can get out of the...
Yeah, do that.
Now that I've got all three versions
there's
working.
There's a robot from Xpeng, which is insanely human looking. What I mean by human looking is not like it has a cool looking face, but the way that it moves is absolutely indistinguishable from a person. And in the video that I sent you, they literally had to cut open the leg because people were saying, dude, that's not a robot. That's a person pretending to be a robot walking around. Because it's a human robot, right? Totally looks like a human. It's a chick robot. It's a chick bot.
Right, which is interesting because that's where you know where it's going. Because otherwise, why would you have to?
Yeah, you know exactly where it's going. That's exactly right. But this thing has the most natural human movements I've ever seen out of any robot. It is wearing clothes. It is absolutely indistinguishable from a human in the way that the body moves. Completely indistinguishable. There's a lot of humanoid robots, including the Elon's robot, the Boston Robotics robots. They're generally human-like in that they have the same number of limbs. They can move those limbs to manipulate objects, etc. But no one would ever mistake Elon's bot or the Boston Dynamics ones, which are actually Samsung now. No one would ever think that that's a person. This thing looks like a person when it moves. It is uncanny. And I don't mean uncanny valley. I mean, this is like, it's beyond uncanny valley, back to the point where you're questioning whether it's a human.
Yeah, if you were walking behind it, you wouldn't pay attention.
You would not know. Yeah, you would not know that's a robot. I'm sure you've seen the TV show Westworld, which started off really good and then eventually, after a couple of seasons, turned into feminist power.
I don't think I have.
Really crapping, where basically all the female robots killed all the men, the actual humans. Because, girl power.
Well, that would be okay. See, now if I was writing the story, this would definitely be it, which is men are like, hey, we don't need women anymore. We've replaced them with these robots that do exactly what we want. They are exactly kinky enough.
What Westworld is. Yeah, pretty much.
And then those robots just kill all the men. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you not watched the show?
No, I see it got an 8.4 rating on
you should
IMDb.
check it out. The first season is absolutely brilliant, mostly because Anthony Hopkins is one of the main characters. And he is the grand creator of the robots. But it's got a couple other really good actors in it. And I really like, from a visual standpoint, the main chick in it. Like, she's really hot.
Evan Rachel Wood, yeah.
Yeah, she's there's something about bad girls like her that it's just very attractive.
Well, she was a Madonna in Weird Al, the Al Yankovic story. So, I mean, there's that.
Well, she was also married to, what's his face?
The girl,
Alice,
what's his face?
Alice, oh, God, what's his name? I know his real name's Brian, but it's the very androgynous looking rock guy.
Oh,
with
yeah. Marilyn Manson.
Yeah. So she was married to Marilyn Manson. And I've generally, every woman he's been married to, kind of like every woman Elon's been married to, I approve of. They're all my type.
Why did I think she was in one of those like early techie kind of shows? Not like the early one, but like
she has that look about her.
Maybe because like Halt and Catch Fire, that was great. I thought maybe that was it. We need another one of those shows. It's been a while.
She does a very good job of playing a robot in Westworld. Did you ever see the original movie Westworld?
No.
That had Yul Brynner in it.
Fiddler on the Roof.
He was the what?
Yul Brynner, wasn't he? Like in the original Fiddler on the Roof?
No, he wasn't.
Was that where Yul came from?
No.
Fiddler on the Roof.
He was the King and I, the 1950s guy actor. He was in the Magnificent Seven. He's a bald guy. He's like Kojak and looking in all the movies he was in.
Who loves you, baby?
Yeah, exactly. But the original one obviously is just a movie, so it was very condensed. But the same idea about a futuristic kind of a Disneyland theme park, except that it's the concept of Fantasy Island, except done without magic, just using robots, where you can go to Westworld, which is you can be a cowboy, and you can. It's real real life action role play. So you can dress up as a cowboy, then get into a gunfight, and then obviously you're going to win because you're playing against these robots that are, their job is to be your entertainment, basically. And then all of a sudden, spoiler alert, the robots stop losing. They shoot back.
Wow.
So the TV show, especially the first season with Anthony Hopkins in it, I thought was absolutely brilliant. It was masterfully done. He just makes a couple of short appearances in season 2. And so season 2 is not nearly as good. And by season 3, like the whole show is just basically devolved into men suck.
Which is what happens with all of these shows now. And I know this isn't super new. This looks like 2016 to 2022. But when they only, and really that is 6 years, but 36 episodes. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What kind of?
Yeah. Right. You could binge watch that in one day. Well, 2 days. Yeah. Absolutely. It's, it is ridiculous that American studios have converted to the British model of making 6 episodes per season.
Well, it also takes people right out of your pocket because I forget about a lot of these shows, even if they're good.
Yeah.
And I know it's coming up again. I had to go look, but the show that John Hamm was in, Your Friends and Neighbors, where he turns, was fired and turns into a thief and starts stealing from people he knows, like breaking into homes. But it was a great series. I loved it. But when you're waiting another 40 some odd weeks for it to come back,
forget about it.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, I've run into a bunch of shows. I'm like, wait, that was still I thought we saw it all.
You know what I've been watching recently that I've never caught in its first run is Resident Alien. Did you ever watch that?
I have not.
So there was 2 Resident Aliens. There's one back in the 90s that I remember being kind of meh, about an alien detective on a police force and the storyline is, aliens have come to the Earth and they're actually not bad guys, but there's a lot of like racism towards them. And then this latest one, which is a comedy about aliens, an alien coming to Earth to blow up the planet, and his spaceship gets damaged and he loses his equipment. So he's trying to track down his equipment. And after he kills a guy when first landing, he like morphs into him. So he looks like him. And but he doesn't know anything about Earth culture, so he ends up spending a lot of time sitting on the sofa watching television. And he seems to really enjoy watching Law and Order. And so that's how he learns English. Alan Tudyk is the main guy in it.
Harry Vanderspiegel.
Yeah, Harry Vanderspiegel is the character he plays. You know who Tudyk is, right? He's
Firefly, baby.
Yeah, Firefly baby. He's the pilot.
And Suburgatory. Suburgatory was a great fucking sitcom.
It was. I agree. I thought it was pretty good. It had the right weirdness factor that I enjoy.
Yes, and it was way, way underrated. We haven't seen anything like that in a while.
Yeah.
We need a good sitcom again. Really, all the whole woke stuff killed a lot of the sitcoms.
It killed sitcoms completely, yeah.
And sitcoms, I don't think, the 22-minute sitcom does not work with we're going to only make 10 of these a year.
No, you got to make like 32.
Like a billion. That would be
we're only going to take a month off in the fall. Otherwise, we're going to have new episodes the rest of the year.
That's the way they should.
That's the way it used to be. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, Saturday Night Live, they don't take a freaking year off every year.
And Dudek's page on IMDb, man, this guy works harder.
Yes. He's a bit actor in a lot because he's got a weird looking face. He's definitely not a leading man type. He's very good at comedic roles, and he's done a lot of sci-fi. This is his own project that he did, I think, when he was between shows. It was hilarious. It was called Con Man. And Con Man, which is a great play on words, is basically a story of a guy who's really only been in one successful TV show where he was a pilot in the spaceships, and it got canceled early.
Uh-huh.
And so now he's been doing conventions for a decade. So that's the plot line of Con Man
with Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, right. Which he's got his buddies in that show as well. Literally everybody from Firefly makes an appearance in Con Man, but they never refer to it as Firefly, obviously. But that's a show. I don't know if he wrote it, but he definitely was the guy that put it together. But he plays a very, very pathetic kind of, Hollywood actor guy with a shitty agent trying to survive and getting crappy parts. And he just wants to get a great role, a meaty role you can dig into. And people just want to have him do ads for bubble gum or just dumb stuff. But since he's got so much time between actual work, he goes to all these conventions where, he can sell his autograph and pictures and everything.
So you have to pull that one. I have to find that one to download.
No, and that one is I think that one is literally 6 episodes per season.
Now, but the thing is,
for a good reason.
This is where the AIs fail, because I should publish the list. The one, a weekend, like maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago.
Yeah.
I started playing with the AIs, and I'm like, I'm looking for television shows to watch.
Yeah.
Suggest things. And then it started suggesting things. And I'm like, well, I've seen that. So every time it suggested something that I saw, I put a 0 to 10 rating on what I thought of the show and kept feeding it back to the AI, trying to find more shows. And it just did not pull up much.
Really?
That I would have been like, this would have been perfect for that kind of list. And I've run into a bunch of shows and I'm like, well, the AIs didn't pull this. I'm kind of surprised.
Ironically, who used to be great at that is Netflix. I remember probably 10, 12 years ago, back when I still had Netflix, really talking about how good Netflix's algorithm is for figuring out what to recommend. Because for a while there, I think I had like 10 or 12 different TV shows that I'd never watched before that ended up on Netflix that I really enjoyed. Like they were perfect recommendations. And like whatever they were doing to their algorithm was working. But I think that started getting worse eventually as well.
Yeah, it all gets just convoluted. And I thought this would be genius because this would also be like a perfect way. And I don't know if anybody has this
there's a way to
service.
do this. Is like a business model,
right?
Because all you need is a bunch of guys in their 50s and 60s, and then have them receive email on their old school computer. It says, "Hey, here's a person that's watching this show. What do you think would be good? What would he enjoy?"
Well, I just like getting somebody's demographic, then sending, getting a list of, 5,000, whatever it is, television shows. Like, go through this. If you saw this, just click on the rating. 0 to 10.
Yeah, I think they have that, and it's called Rotten Tomatoes.
I guess I have to really never pay that much attention to the site. I'll have to take a better look. Because I'm like, I want stuff that I haven't seen that we just overlooked.
Right.
Because there's a lot of stuff on weird networks.
Jesus Christ.
I know. And I see also in the Con Man, Amy Acker is in that. And I love Amy Acker.
I know you do. Yeah. Who doesn't?
I mean, she was not the, I wouldn't say the highlight of Person of Interest, but her character in Person of Interest was so good.
Yeah, she's not like super hot or anything, but she's cute.
But she's cute enough, and that character was hot.
Yeah.
There's something about an evil woman.
Well, yes, there is. Did you watch her in Dollhouse?
No, I never saw Dollhouse. That's the one with the other chick.
Yeah, it's got a couple of the other chicks. It's got the chick from Firefly, the young one. What's her name? Rain, Storm, whatever her name is.
Drizzle.
You know how I'm talking about.
Yeah, good old Drizzle.
Drizzle. Yes.
Drizzle.
Drizzle was great in that show.
Oh, I'm trying to think. What's the? Okay, I'll have to look it up now.
You know what I'm talking about. The gymnast chick.
Why am I not seeing her in Dollhouse?
And also another chick that I thought was hot back in the day. That was on that show. Who was in? Oh God, what was her name?
There's Alicia Dushku.
That's her. That's the one. Yes, Alicia. I used to look pretty damn hot back when she was like 20.
Well, that they all are. I mean, that's
well, not all of them, but a good child. All the ones that Whedon hired definitely were. He was very good at hiring 20-year-olds.
Just firing them by the time they were.
No,
25.
they usually suit them, but one way or another.
So I guess Dollhouse should be on the list then too. I never did see that.
Dollhouse it's
eye candy.
It's a little weird. It's an interesting. It's definitely. It would have been better if it was done on like HBO or Showtime.
Summer Glau. That she's in,
Summer Glau. That's what I meant by water, storm, rain.
Now she was really good in
not that
Arrow.
Attractive, but very bendy.
She's good in Arrow. We watched Arrow like the first 2 or 3 seasons, and I think it kind of petered out. So I don't know if you watched the end of that, if that was worth it or not.
I didn't.
I don't remember. But she was. I liked Summer Glau. She was in like an episode. I think just one of The Big Bang Theory when they see her on a train and Leonard like goes up and tries to like talk to her, or one of them goes up and try to talk to her, and just like,
well, hopefully not Raj.
You know, it might have been after a drink.
He can't talk to women.
Well, that's early on, until he has a booze in him.
Yeah. Which is a real thing, apparently. I did not realize that was a real thing.
I mean, I think it is fairly common, but not in that drastic of a portrayal.
Yeah, it's like selective mutism based on stress from specifically women, which is, I mean, I think a lot of guys, certainly younger guys, find it difficult to start a conversation with some hot-looking chick. Nobody has a problem talking to ugly chicks.
And, well, I don't know about that. I think it has changed now because
all chicks are ugly.
I think a lot of this, even though a lot of these articles I think are bullshit, the whole younger teenage boys and girls taking to AIs to be like their friends as far as talking to them. Yeah. Chat bots.
That's what you're doing.
Well, but not in that way. I find that to be so creepy.
What should we watch? Should we go have a watching date party thing, AI?
You know, asking for a recommendation is different than, hey, AI, how's your day going?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you ask AI what you would like to watch with your wife? Was that what you were asking it?
Sure. Like, what
or did you forget about your wife when you were talking to the AI?
My wife pays no attention to what's on the television screen. She is now fully a 14-year-old girl with her phone, just scrolling on the phone no matter what's on the TV.
Doom scrolling? Okay.
And it's like, would you like put the phone away every now and then? I don't know, there's something on the phone. It's like, well, what's on the phone? Did you guys not watch
the Super Bowl?
No.
Oh, wow.
No Super Bowl at all. What we were watching. No, I didn't
either. I was watching curling.
Of course you were. That's even the
real sport.
Even the video for the Unrelenting yesterday talked about your curling addiction.
I know.
It is very true.
Super, super fake. All those videos just don't come across as real.
Of course they're not, because they're AI. They're Elon.
But they're not even good AI. They're just kind of like AI from 6 months ago.
Well, that's why it's nearly free on Elon's system.
Yeah, I was going to say it must be free.
Well, it's part of your Grok, but I don't know what your limitations are.
10 seconds.
With Super Grok. When it was 7 seconds, now it's 10 seconds.
10 seconds now, yeah.
And now I want to try. And here was the very odd thing as well, because one of those I had generated, and the audio went to like right at the 10-second mark. I'm like, fuck, I want to just, let's extend this a second or two. And I'm like, hey, I know Adobe Premiere can do this. So I put it into Adobe Premiere. I'm like, okay, how do I do generative extend, which is what they call it. And it's like, well, you just click the generative extend and drag the timeline 2 seconds. I'm like, okay. And I go and try that, and it's like, no, this only works with widescreen video.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, what the fuck is that all about? What difference does it
Seems
make?
arbitrary. Yeah.
Whether it's a 1:1 aspect ratio or a 16:9, it's like you're just generating pixels.
The other day I was looking for example. I'll actually mention what I was looking, because you never go into our reporters group, which is sad because I wish you did.
No reporters allowed
in there.
I mean, who is everybody in this group? That is the question.
There's just my 20 closest friends. But anyway,
all 19 AIs then.
Yeah, that's pretty. And you, exactly. In there, somebody, Ben probably, was talking about Sydney Sweeney being hot. I'm like, she has an amazing body.
Yeah.
Incredible body, but she's kind of a butterface. And it's like, no, you're totally full of shit. She's really pretty. Like, no, she's really not, because I've seen way prettier girls, even in real life. Like in person, I've seen women that are more pretty than her. Her face is far from symmetric. She has a resting bitch face, and she has droopy eyelids. Like, that combination is not what I would call attractive. Great personality. Got a very good body. You put a bag in her head, she's perfect. But
if you put it has to be a paper bag, because the plastic you can see through.
Not a plastic bag, please. No, I'm not going to kill her.
On the paper bag, do you like draw a smiley face, or do you just print a photo of somebody else and put it there? I mean, what's
exactly? Mine just upside down has HEB written on it.
Gene's got a plethora of bags just sitting right there underneath the bed.
Yeah, they're all ready.
Let's see, 7 members of the group. Okay, so there's 2 different Bens.
No, you can't be outing people in there. Are we kidding? We got super secret people in there.
Jesse and Alan. I don't know who any of these people
literally,
are.
You shouldn't. They're all fake names anyway. So.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
But anyway, so I mentioned this, got some pushback, and I said, okay, well, check out these girls that are way hotter. And I went and said,
Gene spent 14 hours.
Really hot looking. Really, no, you don't need to. That's what my point is. You don't need to spend 14 hours anymore, because all you got to do is go to Grok and say, show me really symmetric face, attractive redheads. And what Grok does now, which I don't think anything else does, is it just keeps on continuously generating these at a rate of about 10 per minute. Or no, 10 per, probably 5 per second.
Now, is it coming up, you mean, with real photos, or it's doing the AI thing?
These are all AI.
Right.
But the point is, it doesn't give you like 2 or 3 and then say, which one do you like? It just gives you nonstop, like 4 columns or 5 columns by unlimited. You just scroll down and there's more and more and more and more and more of them.
And then you have to click the little heart. Otherwise, they're gone forever. If you don't like
really
them,
care.
So you can't come back. So if you're using,
just make more.
Yeah, that's
the whole point.
But it will do some. That's where the videos come from. So I generate the still. You find a still that you want to make the video, and you go from there. But with the stills, I found, which I had no idea that the capability was there to do this as of yet. But with the stills, it's very interesting. So if you generate a photo like you're doing here, and you're like, damn, okay, this girl's cute, or whoever you're generating, you can also go to Grok and say, same person, but in this scene, this background, or just the same scene, but different pose. It will create alternates of the same character, which is hard for AI to do, to stay in character. At least it used to be. Maybe it's getting passe, but it's if you're looking to do some kind of a project where you need multiple images of the same character, you can now do that with Grok. So design your own little Bemrose comic character dude to do
of all the characters you could be designing, that's the one you picked.
Right, it's Bemrose, the angry middle-aged Ben who's sitting there with a cat on his shoulder, drinking coffee, going, this Unrelenting show sucks.
Yeah. Exactly.
But you could have that same character. So when you want to do another couple panes of the same comic character, you just go back to Grok and you go back to that old image and you just go to edit and say, now this guy's doing this. I mean, I was just trying to show that Grok isn't only about generating hot-looking women who will take their clothes off on Grok.
So my point about it with Grok is that I don't think that you need websites that have real women anymore. If such things ever existed, I wouldn't know. But Grok is now fully capable of providing you exactly the women that you want to look at. Period.
Oh, yeah. Well,
there's literally zero reason to look for stock images.
Or OnlyFans.
That's what I meant.
That's your... Gene's like a stock images. No, it's not. What was not Shutterfly.
Yeah.
What's the big Getty? You know, we don't go to Getty.
Yeah.
Gene's would you say?
What I hate is clearly who do I use for search? The Brave search people have clearly signed a contract with Getty to get paid, because now anytime you look for an image, all it ever shows you is an image with a Getty logo on it.
Interesting.
Because it used to be that, you'd be like, oh, I need to find some free ass, steal some shit from other websites, image of blah, blah, blah. Let's see who's got something that clearly they didn't buy, right? Nope. It doesn't even show you anything from any other websites. Now, the only stuff it shows you is all the images on that topic that are for sale at Getty. It's like, well, this is useless. This is not what I'm looking for, obviously.
Obviously.
Renting an image, I just go to AI and say, generate me one.
Well, yeah. Or now you can just upload the image and say, make this again, with changing it enough that it's not a person that will sue your ass.
Right. But why would you want to upload something?
I mean, if you needed something very specifically copied, or you could just get really good at prompting and then it'll give you what you want anyway.
And some of the shit people come up with are like, I'm going to send you one right now. And I don't understand. Maybe you can explain.
Well, I was more intrigued because I saw somebody post a stat and I asked Grok if this was true. And it came back with the population of U.S. women with the amount of people that are on OnlyFans trying to make money.
Yeah, it's like half of the country.
It is between 10 and 11 million 18 to 24-year-old females in the United States.
Which is over 10% of all women, yeah.
It is, well, not of all women. It says it's 10 to 14% of women 18 to 24.
That's all women.
So I forgot you don't.
I didn't say crones, did I?
No.
Okay.
Which is like, wow, women trying to make money on their looks. I thought that was supposed to be Gone with the Wind.
Yeah.
And why would anybody pay to look at you?
Because you know what? Because women don't need men. That's why.
Right.
Except for all the men that are paying them.
You're sending, there's these two different videos, Grok.
Oh.
So it's very, very cinematic.
Yeah, the first one I think is just pretty, but the second one I don't understand.
Some redhead underwater. She's not cute with a sword and some kind of Japanese-inspired dress. Let's see the second one. Gene sends me videos here live on Unrelenting.
Yeah, it's the best content for any podcast.
A redhead in a sweater with a horse body. There's an interesting. Gene's like,
yeah, it's like a 22-year-old female centaur. What the hell?
This is Gene's idea of a good date. It's like, but you can do it. And then it wasn't hard. I mean, Grok, I'm sure you're just like, hey, Grok, give me this. And Grok is like, no problem. And I will say the video you sent me the other day with the fake Gilligan's Island trailer.
Yeah, that was good, right?
It proves what you were just saying, because Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah.
From the neck down. Yeah. From the neck up. It's like, okay, she's not cute, but she's not hot.
Kind of homely.
Unlike Margot Robbie, which would have me smashing my car into a tree. Like, whoa!
Yeah, exactly. Margot Robbie is just gorgeous. Absolutely.
Which, if you've never seen, that was only lasted like half a year. I think like 12 episodes. It was an hour long.
Which one?
Pan Am.
Oh, yeah, I watched it.
Where Margot Robbie plays
Christina Ricci in it, which is also one of the chicks I've always liked.
Well, yeah, because she's somewhat crazy, and you like crazy chicks.
Yeah, I like crazy chicks. I know. That's a problem.
Gene's like, if you don't need crazy chicks, let me know. I'll hide my Bitcoin and lock up my my caviar.
Yeah.
My $1,000 bottles of whiskey, which they're probably up to now since they were 500.
Oh, they're several thousand by now.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And you don't drink them, so you just look at them.
I don't.
Like, damn, they're
look pretty. They're just sitting there. The thing is, whiskey doesn't age. So
it'll last forever.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
That's why I'm intrigued, even with the good wines, that the one from the Tom Seaver vineyard that he owned, it's a small vineyard in California. They make a Cab Sav that the bottles that they're just producing now, they're like, we'll continue to age and, be premium drinking like 20 years from now.
Yep.
And I'm like, shit, my nephew's son is 1. And I'm like, well,
they should buy a bottle.
Right. That's a gift. It's like when you turn 21, this shit will be bananas.
No, I had one of those. I had a bottle of Dom that was from my birth year that was sitting there and waiting for me to turn 21.
And you have to keep it correctly, otherwise champagne can go poorly.
When I turned 21 and we popped open the bottle, realized that it's not really that carbonated. And oh my God, did it taste like vinegar?
Oh yeah, it turned.
Yeah. So at some point,
store those
between in those 21 years, it clearly went bad. So there's that danger. So I would recommend, if you're going to pick something that you want to buy early and last until their 21st anniversary, get something with high alcohol content, which is much less likely to go bad in the interim. This is the lower the alcohol content, the riskier it is that it's going to go funky.
Yes, there's a reason why the red wines, and I did a lot of research on this in years past. It's like you need to have them in a dark area, like 55 to 59 degrees Fahrenheit. And you don't want to like put them next to the furnace or something.
No. Well, you could dry them out that way pretty good. But
that'll be fine.
And that's something I got to figure out what to do with my collection of wine because...
You're not drinking?
No, I'm not. I haven't been drinking for 6 years. And, some of those were and still are quite expensive. So I need to figure out who to pass them on to. And there's a few things that I'm very sad that I'm not drinking for because they finally have matured. So I bought some bottles of port. There were 91 was a great year for port, by the way. So I have some 91, 92, 99, which should be perfect right now. The ideal age for aging port is 25 to 30 years.
Just like women.
No, women is 23.
I was trying to give it out.
I know. And so, I bought this stuff in anticipation of holding on to it for 30 years. So they've been sitting in wine refrigerators I got 3 different wine fridges that are full of wine.
Yeah, I've got one, but it's a small one.
And they're, they've been sitting at like 52 degrees.
Right where they should. Yeah.
So at some point,
they're ready.
I gotta do something with them. They're definitely ready. So just going to be excellent tasting. So at the very least, I want to have somebody that's going to appreciate them that drinks this because these are all, I don't know. I could probably do a quick search and see how much they're worth. But generally, if you're talking about 30-year-old port, which was $80 30 years ago, these are all going to be close to $1,000 a bottle.
Well, it sounds like you want to sponsor an episode of Curry and the Keeper.
I don't think they're port drinkers.
That 30-year-old port, maybe.
They're wine drinkers. And I do have wine that I need to take a look at to see what. Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea. I could probably get him some good wine. But the ports, I've got another couple of bottles of Tokai that is back from the. Unfortunately, I don't have any of the really old stuff, but I've got some Tokai from the 90s. I had a friend of mine that really got into drinking Tokai wine. Do you know what Tokai is?
I do not. It sounds Japanese.
It's a Hungarian sweet white wine. Yeah. It's a very traditional Hungarian wine that is made from grapes that are infected by a fungus.
And this makes them better?
Yes, because the fungus is on the outside of the skin. It's not on the inside of the grape. And what the fungus does is it dehydrates the grape. So it starts turning it into a raisin. But the net result is a higher concentration of sugar in the grape. It's called the royal fungus, I believe. It's the Botrus something fungus.
The royal fungus.
Yes, the royal fungus. And so Tokai is made from these grapes. Has been for about 500 years, maybe longer. And it's a very, very pleasant taste. If you ever had ice wines, it's similar to that. Like there's some really good German ice wines, which uses a different process, but achieves a very similar end result. Ice wines made from grapes that are allowed to remain on the vine until the first frost of the year. And then they're picked.
Yeah,
And
I believe
that first frost is what does a similar thing. It reduces the water content, thereby increasing the sugar content of the grapes, which changes them, the flavor profile quite a bit. It's what they all turn into is just very refreshing, crisp, but sweet white wine. And because these are rare events that happen, obviously this wine's expensive from the get-go. So this friend of mine kind of got into them, and he really liked the Tokais. And I've been drinking Tokai forever. And so I told him, unfortunately, what you're drinking now is Tokai owned by a French company, and not the original flavor profile of the Hungarian Tokai. And he said, well, that's unfortunate. I still think it's great, but it's too bad. I said, you know what? Let me see if I can find a bottle of pre-fall of communism Tokai for us. And so I got on the internet. This is back in the day when I had some money, which I don't anymore. I got on the internet and I tracked down the only bottle of Tokai from 1987 in Hungary, and ordered it. That was at some auction or other, and I won the auction. And so we got that bottle, brought it over to his castle, and we sat down in the tower and poured this thing, and we drank the whole bottle between the two of us. And it was the most delicious Tokai I'd ever have. And I don't know, there's something, and maybe I'm unique in this, I don't know, but there's really something about consuming something that literally will never exist after you eat or drink it.
True, it's gone.
Like that feeling of eating, the last dodo prepared for you.
The perfect
that
whiskey
will ever exist.
Yeah.
Is a very, very special feeling. And this is what it was. This was literally the last available bottle of the pre-fall of communism Tokai.
Something to savor.
Yeah, well, yes, for sure, something to savor, but something to appreciate that people in the past from that point have appreciated, and no one after will ever be able to. Like that rarity and being able to consume it is very special. It's you
got a message popped up.
Oh, did I? Yeah, I probably do. I need to turn that volume down.
That is why that you have been deemed by Pfeiffer in the troll room as a prolific grapist.
A grapist? Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, prolific.
Yeah. And the one thing I didn't get to consume, which really pissed me off at the time, was back when I was living in Dallas.
In your swinging days.
I was a member of a cigar club out there. And it took curry out there, in fact.
Called Lewinsky's.
Lewinsky's, no. And what was it? It was called, I think, En Fuego.
Oh, nice. On fire.
Yeah, on fire. And so I had a cigar locker number 33 out there.
Of course you would. And
I was storing something that I wanted in a different auction there and made the mistake of not having it be in its own separate plastic box. And because I should have known better. And what I had was a pre-Castro Cuban cigar. So a cigar made, I think, in 1954, I guess it would have been.
Something else that needs to be properly cared for.
Yeah, for sure. And I had a bunch of different cigars there. This back when I smoked cigars, which I haven't smoked cigars since COVID. So no drinking, no smoking, no vices.
What? Häagen-Dazs chocolate ice cream?
That's not a vice. That's a basic food group. By the way, did you watch that video I sent you?
No, not yet, but I saw something similar the other day too.
Okay, so it's a video rating the 10 best ice creams.
And the ones that aren't really ice cream at all.
Yeah, and Häagen-Dazs was definitely the number one.
It's not that frozen dessert product.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a frozen dessert product. It's literally ice cream, which is what I've always liked about it. It only has 4 ingredients. Anyway, so back to the cigar story, just to wrap this up. Unfortunately, when you're renting a cigar box, this is something that happens way too often, is some moron will put cigars into his box that have tobacco weevils.
Oh, and the fucking tobacco weevils.
Yeah, tobacco weevils are little bugs that love eating tobacco leaves. That's their main food source. And you have to be very careful. Like, good commercial quality cigars will never have these things because they're stored properly. But, somebody goes and buys cigars on a cruise ship when they're stopping off at Mexico, and they put the box in their room and it sits there in room temperature, and it was already infected with these little fuckers. They're going to start getting their population growing. And then this moron will also have a cigar box in the humidor, and they'll put it in there. Because the way that the cigar boxes in clubs usually work is, the reason that you would keep your cigars there rather than at home, for example, is that they're maintaining the proper temperature.
Much money you're spending.
Well, that too. That's a good part of it. But they're also maintaining the proper humidity and temperature. And it's essentially like mail, post office boxes. So you have a key that opens up the front of it that only you can get into, but in the back, they're all open towards each other so that the proper humidity air can come in and keep them all at 70 degrees humidity, which is what you should store them at, and 70 degrees Fahrenheit. 70 is usually the preferred temperature and humidity. Although you can go a little bit less humid. I think that works out just fine. But long story short is they had an infection of tobacco weevils, and the tobacco weevils, like little bastards that they are, for my particular box, almost exclusively, I think I lost one other cigar, but they just completely turned my pre-Castro Cuban cigar into weevil bug poop. They ate the whole damn thing. Because sometimes you'll start smoking a cigar and you'll see that there's like a little line that seems to, like a tunnel that passes through the cigar, which is, a tobacco weevil ate through this tunnel and then at some point ran out of water and died, and you smoke them and that's all right. But these guys literally ate this entire cigar to nothing. It was dust.
It's good eating.
It was like pre-Castro dust.
So I guess you didn't get to enjoy that one.
I did not. I was very pissed, dude, and it's not like it was insanely expensive. I want to say I think I paid about $250 for it.
For one
it was
cigar.
Definitely one cigar. It was definitely a save it for a special occasion cigar.
And that
And
special
I clearly
occasion
hadn't
came.
I never hit the special occasion before the damn tobacco weevils decided to party.
This
I was very pissed.
Tells you why you should enjoy every sandwich and don't just let it sit.
Well, the tobacco weevils don't really like sandwiches per se.
True.
Unless you're eating tobacco.
We do have a few people to thank for today's show.
No.
Thank you for your donations. Thank you for your support. Darren's gonna buy some clothes and food. Gene needs a new spaceport. For all of his stations, he's kinda nerdy. Maybe you figured that out. But thank you from Unrelenting, yeah.
Yeah,
That's about 10 seconds too long.
I know, I need to cut it down.
Yeah.
But it talks about your spaceport, so I mean...
It does talk about my spaceports, that's true. I did buy another spaceship yesterday.
Well, why wouldn't you? We'll get into all the details after we thank Weenie Wawa for coming in with his $10.80 per month. Hey, Weenie Wawa.
Hey, in what format is that?
That is PayPal. These are all PayPal.
So it's all real money, not fake money.
Nothing in Cash App, nothing in boosts and Satoshis, nothing in streaming Satoshis.
Yeah.
Nothing besides PayPal.
Yep.
Weenie Wawa, thank you. And then our buddy Mark Kodra, since we missed last week due to me being off.
Yep.
Somehow came in with 3 333s, which equals up to $9.99.
Wow, yeah, we'll throw in the penny.
Yeah, ding, 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 ding. I don't have a penny. I need to
drop
put one on the desk.
Drop. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Adam really has a penny. And then it's on the desk, and there's its own microphone that sits there waiting for the penny to be dropped.
Yeah.
It's theater of the mind.
It's a Linux penny.
Yes. Kevin Seifert came in with $5. Pretty sure that's a monthly as well.
Monthly, I believe so, yeah.
And then our buddy Scott Codswallop all the way from the UK, $2.50 twice, which is $5. And
what
$5
is that, like a pound?
Is $5. Yeah, it's a pound in the pounds.
Yeah.
With 4 folks.
So it's got to be more than a pound. What's that? I don't know what the ratio is.
I don't know what the dollars to pounds are right now.
Yeah.
I know when we went to Ireland back in like 2009, it was not a great exchange.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think it's been a great exchange a couple times, but more often than not, it feels like it's not a great exchange.
You feel like you're getting bent over.
Yeah.
But if
I refuse to pay more than $1 for a euro. They're just not worth it.
Yeah, screw those euros.
Yeah.
Send all of your crypto to us if you'd like, or any way you want. Go to unrelenting.show/donate.
I think everyone's already emptied out their crypto wallets by this point.
That's why it's all crashed. Now it's going back up. Unrelenting.show/donate. Or if you're on the Podcasting 2.0 app and you want to prove that you still use Satoshi's Boost right now, I dare you.
Yeah.
With the dirtiest message you could possibly think of.
I guess.
It was supposed to be this great way for people to communicate back and forth and share small amounts of
Tesla's
value.
at 420 right now.
What's that for? Tesla's at 420?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, you selling?
No. That's my long hold. Tesla's a long hold. That'll be over 1,000.
What about Starlink? How much you got in Starlink?
I don't have any Starlink because Starlink's not public.
They're starting to lay the fiber in our neighborhood.
It will be.
Here.
It will be soon because Starlink is going to be part of Tesla.
Ooh, well, that's why you're like, I like my Tesla stock. Let's make it one big super company. Can we roll X
Tesla
into it?
at $100? It's at 420 right now.
Can we roll X into that as well?
I don't know. I think he's got bigger plans for X.
These are not stock tips. These are not financial tips.
I'm just mentioning things. There's no tips involved.
We are not professionals. We do not give medical, financial, or relationship advice here the day before Valentine's Day.
My other sleeper stock, Ford is at $14.24 right now. It's up a quarter from yesterday and up from $7 where I bought it.
I don't remember where we got it. That was one of the things that our guy, the money guy's like, Ford. Like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That was a while ago.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
I find it's best. I mean, not that there's a whole lot to pay attention to.
And NVIDIA's down.
Having a guy that knows what they're doing, where I only like check it once a year, actually is way more safe. My dad's one of them that will look like every day, like, let's see what we're doing. It's like, I don't want to know what we're doing. It'll drive you nuts like the crypto. It's like, it's up, it's down, there's big swings. Unless you really know something's about to go down, it's like long hold. Leave it where you need to.
Yeah.
Trust.
No, I got burned on doing stock trades back in 1999 that took me a long time to recover from.
Were you a day trader?
No, I never really did day trading. Adam tried to get me into day trading a while ago, but I never really, it's too much work in my opinion. Like you got to be there all the time. I was doing more of sort of industry info trading. Like, oh, I heard this deal happen, so let's see what they're at and see if I can make some money before other people do it. But it was nothing. But what happened is I really bought a lot of 3Com stock. And do you remember 3Com? They haven't been around for a while.
It was a tech company, right?
3Com was the number one manufacturer of network cards.
Yeah, okay.
NIC cards, right? And they had announced that they just got a massive contract with Mexico, the country. And I bought into 3Com hard. There's a couple other companies that I bought into, but 3Com was the primary one that fucked me over. And almost from the point that I bought 3Com, that stock started going down and down. I think I bought it at like 65 or something. And then I watched that stock get to $3.
Oh.
Yeah, I lost $100,000 that year.
So you were holding it. You were like, it's going to go back up.
I kept waiting. I was like, this is got to turn around. Like, that company can't fail. They're too big to fail, is what I was telling myself. Because I'd been in the tech industry for, a long time already by that point. And 3Com, by far, was the main card that everybody used.
Right.
And yes, the cards had gotten super cheap. They were probably $100 a piece. In the early 90s, they were down to $20 a piece by the late 90s, but still, like, they were the standard. They were the cards you didn't need to get drivers for because they were built into Windows. And I just completely lost my shirt on that. I had, and the reason I lost that much too is because I was actually buying that on margin.
Oh, well, that's even worse.
But up to that point, I was doing great. I was making money. So margin was like an easy way to multiply the success that I was having until it wasn't.
It was started by the guy who was the co-inventor of Ethernet. I mean, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
It was direct competition from Cisco that eroded its market share.
Yeah, I guess so.
And the expensive acquisition of U.S. robotics in 1997.
Yeah. And I told Robert Metcalf when I had lunch with him that, dude, you cost me like $100,000.
And he laughed.
Yeah, he kind of did laugh. He literally did laugh because he said, you
want to know what I lost,
like,
son?
You're far from the only one, and 100 is nothing because there are people losing millions of dollars on that stock. But Robert, I don't think he does anymore, but he used to live here in Austin, and he showed up at a coffee shop that I was at once. And so I ended up spending some time chatting with him and over coffee. And it turned out that, he had some interesting stories. He's definitely an engineer type personality. That's for sure.
Well, yeah, if you've co-invented Ethernet. Like a lot of these technologies, how did they ever not exist in the computer world? They just are so ubiquitous at this point.
Right. They're ubiquitous. So you kind of, turned out I just met Stephen Wolfram right before that. at the same coffee shop. So there's like something about that coffee shop. You always see
trolling tech guys in a coffee shop.
Apparently, yeah.
Maybe you should go back there and try to get a gig.
I haven't been there in a long time. That is a good point. But I originally found out about that coffee shop when I first moved to Austin. It was Brian Brushwood that met me there and kind of got me started going to that coffy shop.
Because you're like, hey, Brian, I want to get together. And he's like, let's go to a nice, safe public place.
Yeah, pretty much. It's Mozart's Coffee, if anyone's curious.
In the Austin area.
Yeah, it's in Austin, right on the river. I used to have a boat slip back then, so I could go get coffee on Fridays and then go walk over, jump in the boat, take off.
Thinking you were Sonny Crockett with Elvis.
I was working from the boat quite a bit back in the day.
Sure, working. We can't see the air quotes on an audio-only podcast, Gene.
Yes, well, you can hear them, I'm pretty sure.
It's true. Well, when Gene says working, always put that in air quotes.
Hey, I had my phone with me. That counts.
Like I was able to be contacted.
Mm-hmm.
Was it one of those?
I was in meetings.
Was it like one of those big suitcase phones that you had a big? Yeah.
Oh, dude, this is like 10 years ago. This is not a suitcase phone.
This wasn't like Sonny Crockett on the
no.
Miami Vice.
No, it was. And I will say, it is kind of neat when you sit there and you meet somebody at the coffee shop. And you're like, oh yeah, I happen to have a boat right here in the dock. Would you like to go and do a little boating?
That's when the women run the other direction.
We'll take the boat to the polo club.
Honey, I've got a boat. Would you like to just go out? Maybe go for a little sail.
There's a few of those. The problem is the chicks are afraid to be alone with you on a boat.
No kidding.
I know. I don't know why.
Water everywhere.
I mean,
No, I missed this question earlier too from Pfeiffer. What's better, chicks that smoke weed or wine moms? Which are you preferring at this point? Weed smokers or wine moms? What are you going to
do with them?
That's
the question. Because chicks that smoke weed, yeah, I guess I need a new cleaning lady.
Whoa! I mean, your house ain't going to be real clean. I just want to. Spoilers.
Yeah, but what else are you going to do with them? And then the wine moms, I guess they probably have a book club, so you probably get some book recommendations.
Yeah, well, no, the ultimate wine mom would be Ellie Larder's character in Landman. That's a wine mom, right?
I don't think that's a typical wine mom, not even here in Texas. If it was, I would have a different opinion about it. But yes. No, yes, she's an alcoholic for sure. But, it sucks that we got to wait a year for another episode.
I know, it's these short seasons that drive you nuts.
Yeah, I gotta hate that shit.
I want more Billy Bob. I want more craziness, which is why I still stand behind.
This has got to be like the easiest freaking gig for Billy Bob. He gets to basically live in his own house because he lives here.
And be Billy Bob.
And he's not acting. He's just basically being himself.
Although when I see Billy Bob as himself lately, he's wearing like a bandana on his head. So he has to put a cowboy hat on. That's, I guess, the difference.
He does have to put a cowboy hat on. Yeah.
And he looks better in the cowboy hat. He looks like a cowboy.
Well, I don't think
looks
so.
like that role.
He looks like what people expect cowboys to look like modern days, but actual cowboys don't look like Billy Bob.
Now, what do they look like?
They're usually a lot more muscular and shorter.
Short, interesting.
Well, not short, but he's tall.
So they're under 6 foot, the cowboys.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hence the hat. And the high heel boots. Cowboy boots got a big heel on it, son.
Well, that's right. You're not going to have a guy that's 6'2" walking around with another 2-inch heels.
Dude, I wore cowboy boots for a while in like the early 90s, I guess.
Oh, same here. I totally went through that phase.
We were going to like the country shows at the honky tonks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great. When you're 6'6" and you add the cowboy boots and the hat, man. I mean, you are ridiculous. That's high cotton.
You're cleaning the ceiling fans is what you're doing.
And then you're pissing everybody off behind you if there's a concert going on in front of you.
Totally. It's bad. And It's probably a standing concert, so you're not
Right.
even sitting down. Mm-hmm.
That was the great thing. Like you could just see over everybody's head.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The only time I've really experienced that was when I went to Japan the first time. Well, I mean, I experienced it every time I've gone to Japan, but it really hit me the first time I went, because not only am I like the only blonde haired person in the vicinity.
Wait, when did you have blonde hair?
I've had blonde hair a good chunk of my life.
Okay, we need photos of that. I've never seen that.
Really?
I'm also going to take that image of you in the winter cap from like last year. I want to upload that to Grok because it should be able to animate you.
Oh, yeah, it should. Totally.
Be like, I am Gene's doppelganger.
That's right. I mean, I'm not like naturally blonde, but I've had blonde hair a lot of times in my life. I
go out, get it feathered while you're getting a manicure.
I always use Sun-In. You know what Sun-In? Have you seen that product?
No, but it sounds like something
Sun-In
that
is basically like a very light hydrogen peroxide spray.
Oh, that makes sense.
That you just kind of spritz on your hair, and it only works if you're outdoors with sunlight.
It like
so
activates
you can't be
it.
like, yeah, that basically makes it work. And it's very slowly highlights your hair. But I used to use that all through high school. And then at some point in the 90s, I for sure had that when I was down in Costa Rica. I had blonde hair. I remember that.
Before the beard?
Yeah, before the beard. Yeah. This is all before the beard.
A clean cut Gene with blonde hair. Can anybody imagine that one? Send in your AI generated images.
Yeah, for sure. I think you would be a little surprised at what I used to look like.
I think we all would.
I think the last time that I had blonde hair was when I was on a trip to where did I go? I went to Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Yeah. And that was the last time I ever did Sun-In. Haven't done it since.
And then you were never allowed back in the country.
Well, I was never allowed in the country in the first place. But yeah, I don't even know why we're talking about blonde hair. But
this is unrelenting, my friend. You never know.
Yeah, I know. Wait, what's next on our list of topics to go through here that we put together every day?
Now, there were new Taylor Swift singles released during the show, which I ordered while doing the show. Yeah.
Okay.
CD singles. This is when you know they're really getting down to the bottom of the barrel. $2.99 for the CD singles, although some of these things go up into hundreds of dollars.
I was going to say $2.99 seems like a normal price.
It is. Now, if you're they did it with a vinyl single not too long ago and still charged $11.99 to ship one, which is like, fuck you.
Ooh.
Universal Music. At least the singles, that's a little cheaper.
You mean fuck you music?
Yeah. That's what Universal Music is. The big bad making their billions.
Now, didn't she like change her company or something a while ago because she didn't own her music and then re-record everything again or something? Wasn't there a story about that?
There was. She started re-recording a bunch of her older albums.
Yeah.
And then she was able to acquire her catalog. So she stopped.
Oh, she did. Oh, okay.
With the re-release. It was interesting because it was a Soros-backed company that wound up with the catalog, which then she had to go and purchase for like $500 million. Or I know Britney, I saw, just sold her catalog. All these artists are selling their catalogs for cash. And Taylor's like, no, I've already made $1 billion. So let me just buy this back.
Oh, she really hasn't made $1 billion because her shows are huge. There's a lot of expenses.
Oh, there's a huge bunch of expenses.
Yeah. And I think a lot of these websites that are, very fan oriented that are showing how much money she's making are completely not considering the fact that there's a lot of cost to her. It's not like she can go out there, do a show and get like 95% of the ticket prices into her pocket.
No, and she is sharing the wealth, which is also a fun thing to hear. How
do I get on that list?
I know, right? Well, if you were a semi driver for her American tour,
Oh,
which was, I don't remember exactly how many
that's a
dates
full-time
they did.
job.
It is, because you're constantly, and they have so much in these stage, and this isn't unique to her. These larger acts that are out there now.
Yeah.
These stage setups are so complex and take so long to set up that there's usually two of them that are leapfrogging each other. So the one is in this city and the next one's already in the next city setting up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
When the tour was over, she gave every truck driver a $100,000 bonus.
That's not bad.
No, that's a heck of a bonus. And they talked about how many millions that she gave to the people that work to make the tour happen. So there are artists who are like, I don't want to give anybody a penny, and I think she's way past that, because no matter what she's actually making, it's more than any other artist
she'll ever need. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's good. There was I just recently watched a little thing on who's the other kind of country-ish originally. Oh, Hannah Montana. What's the chick's real name?
The Billy Ray Cyrus's kid.
Yeah, her.
Miley Cyrus.
So I watched a little video on her the other day that I don't really follow her, so I didn't know any of this stuff, but apparently she is very not a money-driven person and has donated basically spent $100 million on charity.
Very nice.
And lives in she doesn't have a huge mansion. She rents a large apartment.
And why not? Just use what you need.
And drives like a 5-year-old F-150.
Which is also a fine vehicle.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, it's probably going to make your fans like you more.
Yeah, be a regular folk.
Yeah, but she seems like, having grown up in that whole
Disney,
your famous lifestyle
cesspool, and the Disney, I
think
cesspool.
She's doing which I think Disney fucks every kid, unfortunately.
Well, literally or just
literally
messing
and
so badly with your
ways.
Psyche.
Yeah. Because it takes these really talented kids and then makes them want to commit suicide.
Or puts them on drugs, which I'm pretty sure that Miley had problems with drugs and alcohol for a while.
Yeah, absolutely. I think she may still have alcohol issues. But either way, I mean, look at Britney.
I mean, there was Hot Britney, and then there was whoa.
I still like Britney. I mean, she's definitely old, but I think I always felt very sorry for her. Even early on, I just feel like this is a textbook example of exploitation.
Yeah.
This is somebody that has talent that basically never got a childhood, never got to be a teenager, never got to make her own choices in life. I mean, why do you think she did stupid shit like cutting her hair? It's because that was literally the only thing, the only decision that she made on her own. Everything else was decided for her.
Yeah, which will make you nuts.
And when you're generating the kind of money that Britney was generating and still is, incidentally, and you're treated like you're a monkey in a gilded cage. Like, I just always felt very sad for her. And I liked her music. I always thought that her pop was very, very upbeat.
Well, it was way different than what's pop today, I'll tell you that, which I know we're the old guys like, oh my God, I can't believe what's passing as music today.
Well, is there pop today? What would be even pop today? Because most shit today is what I would call hip hop. It's not pop.
Yeah, I don't know what you would really, I mean, is
there pop being done?
Well, by default, pop music has always been what is popular. But if you're talking about what is that kind of rock mixed with dance, mixed with, the light, which,
I think it's got to be dance music. I don't think pop can be not dance music.
It can't be like the depressing drones that a lot of these. And if there's one thing I've learned from watching Rick Beato's videos, which I don't like them all, but
I guess Billie Eilish would be like modern pop.
Probably. But when you realize it's the same drum beats and the same sampled stuff over and over and over, that's
when you realize, hey, I can do this with AI.
And do it better.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's certainly not.
What's her name still performing, right? The who's the black-haired chick musician?
The black-haired chick.
The I Kissed a Girl chick.
Oh, Katy Perry.
Katy Perry. She's still around. That would be pop, right?
Well, she just married the fucking Justin Trudeau.
What?
Yeah, the Canadian dude. Yeah.
I didn't hear about this.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Holy shit. You're serious?
Yes.
So she's married to Castro's kid?
To Justin, little Justin from the guy that was
that's insane.
The Canadian. What was his last name? What am I saying?
Canadian King.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, very weird.
That's
now there's
crazy.
A new guy in control of Canada, but the guy that was the guy that just left office.
Right. Yeah. That's insane. Yeah, I would not have imagined that.
For a minute when you said dark hair chick, I thought you meant like Alanis Morissette. And I'm like, oh, that's going way back.
No. Pop music. But Katy Perry was definitely doing pop music. There's another chick that clearly was very exploited. If you watch interviews with her, or at least some interviews, she kind of talks broadly without too many details of just like how when she went from being a cute Christian music girl to doing, and I guess this would have been in the late 2000s when she did I Kissed a Girl and that whole first album of like racy music that she did. She effectively sold her soul because the way she describes it is that contract controlled everything about her. Literally, not just what she wore in terms of clothing, but her whole look, what she wore, what songs she would do, her routine throughout the day, like what time she gets up, what time she eats food, what time she goes to bed, was all controlled for her. Like there was
everything manufactured.
Everything. There were no decisions that she could make. She couldn't pick the food she ate. There's literally nothing that was a decision that she could make because everything was controlled to maximize her growth in the industry.
Now, this is why AI is going to win. I mean, tell you what, you mix AI.
Doesn't require people.
Well, and where did we start the show? With you bringing the video pointing out the new robots that walk and dance and move like a person.
Yeah.
There's your new pop star. People
absolutely.
Go to the concerts.
It'll probably be K-pop that does it first.
I wouldn't doubt it. But there's actually some K-pop I like that it's different at least.
I do too. K-pop is happy music. I like happy music.
Exactly. It's not like Go Kill Your Boyfriend or any of that you're getting in.
And it's got cute girls.
Cute girls help, but now even cute robots will be fine. Gene's like robots, AI
totally
will produce.
Fine.
Perfect.
Cute robots are perfectly adequate.
Very symmetrical, cute AI girls.
Yeah.
Singing K-pop on the 2-hour folk hour, the K-pop hour. That's what it'll become.
K-pop folk hour.
Yeah. It's exactly what it'll become.
2-hour folk hour.
It's where we're going with technology.
And so I sent you the video of the one robot. The other one, which I think you've seen because I've posted, other people have certainly posted, is a new robot technology where they're using, instead of using motors, which this one that I sent you is using traditional motors, but this new method is actually using hydraulics, and basically sacks. So if you can imagine like replacing all the muscles in your body with these, maybe sacks isn't the right word, but with basically inflatable muscle shaped things. And the way it works is just like muscles, to where if the pressure is low, then it can be fully extended. As you send more hydraulic fluid into it and you pressurize it, then it contracts. It gets wider in the width and shorter in the length, literally just like your muscles. And so you can control the movement by changing the hydraulic pressure. And these things also look just like people. In fact, they look just like the robots in or androids, whatever you want to call them, in Westworld.
Ooh.
Because what you have is basically human shaped with sort of semi-transparent see-through body, and inside you see what looks just like the musculature of a human being, except everything is white. And it's basically white hydraulic fluid. So they basically, instead of, I keep saying basically, I need to stop doing that. They bleed white. Basically, yeah. So it's a freaky thing. If you haven't seen it, I'll send you that video as well. But now there's at least 2 different companies making extremely human-like humanoid robots. And then there's even a bunch of companies beyond that are making less human-looking, but still humanoid robots. Like the ones that don't have to look human will still be able to do all the tasks that humans do.
Well,
they just will
all the
they'll
tasks.
look more like Terminator, right? They'll look like a metal, like an actual robot, whereas this other group of human-like robots will be closer and closer to looking just like they're humans.
Hey, I listened to Mark Void Zero for a while when he was doing his show.
Yeah.
And they was always talking about the sex bots coming, and I think we're finally getting closer.
Yeah, they've been coming for a long time.
Well, I mean, if you're doing
I think you're right. I think
you're
they're
treating them right, they're coming
yeah.
for a long time.
But I'm pumped.
I mean, it's a great training method, right? So then guys will never walk up to a girl. They're just like, I'm saving my money for a sex bot. I'm saving my money for a sex bot.
Yeah. And in the grand scheme of things, like a $100,000 sex bot is cheaper than the wife.
Even with maintenance.
And
you could you could get improvements. You could just swap when some new part comes out.
And it'll stay 23 forever.
Oh. Well,
is that a store name? Isn't there a store called 23 Forever or something?
Something familiar about it. I don't know
21
exactly.
Forever?
Maybe.
Like that.
She wants him to say 23 Forever. I mean, I was thinking Tobacco Weevils was the show title, but 23 Forever might be... that might be a possibility. How do I pick? I don't know. See, I did figure out that AI can do a fairly decent job with the transcripts, which I don't know if we talked about it on the show. I know I sent you a message switching on Mac Whisper from the Turbo model, which used to take about 30 minutes or so to do a 2-hour transcript, changing to the new Parakeet model where it takes like 30 seconds. I'm like, holy crap, man, that's good enough for me. I don't need it to be perfect. But the way I was getting things to pick show titles now is pick the funniest, like 3-word combo, even if it's taken completely out of context. And it's able to pop some pretty good ideas out rather than...
I just sent you the video with the other robots in it.
Gene's robot videos right here on Unrelenting.
It's got the hot engineer chick that I like in there.
Well, that's perfect for you. You need a hot engineer chick to keep your hot robot working to its prime capability. Yeah. Just don't let it get one of these evil AIs that are like, kill. Kill.
I started watching this chick probably 5 years ago because she was doing videos on the latest chips for computers. And generally, everybody else I watch that talks about latest progress in chips is a guy that looks like me.
Right. And you're like, if I have to choose, although you could do those videos now, Gene, and just overlay a hot female AI.
Yeah. Oh, in real time, even now that works.
Yeah. Which I'm surprised more people aren't doing.
She's a Russian chick who's a chip designer. And
does she have a Russian accent too?
Oh, well, you can listen at your own pleasure there.
And I will. I was just curious.
I'm sure you will. Yes, she does.
Oh, well, that's why it's like, this is even better.
I know. And so I was getting that news, but she's really branched out recently and I think gained quite a few subscribers. by just doing general tech stuff. I don't even know if she works as a chip designer anymore, frankly, because I think she's probably making enough off YouTube. But she was like, just, an actual person in the field doing videos about the topic, or at least used to.
Somebody's got to do it. Then you get your AIs and they create everything else.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Quen 3. I did get all of those running. I know the Podfather was trying to do those locally. I was able to get them running on OS X.
Nice.
And it's just a cute little script. You pop into it because there's 3 different versions. One, which is very much like the Chatterbox one that I had your dad looking at, which is it takes the short audio clip of somebody and then recreates. Where this one also has now the addition of adding a text descriptor. So you can be like happy, sad, angry, and it will try to adjust. But then it also has 2 other modes. One, which is fairly boring, but it is just using the voices that they've already trained. So there are a bunch that you can choose from, and I'm betting you could download more. And then the one which does not work well yet is voice creation, meaning you give it a prompt to describe the voice. And I've noticed that even saying, a 25, 27, 29-year-old female, it's still really, really high. It sounds like in like anime 12-year-old.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to dial that one in, and you have to just keep pushing around the stuff. But I thought it sounded pretty good. I sent a couple of the clips over to Adam for the post-show ISOs. He's like, way too AI. It's like, well, of course, because they are AI.
Yeah.
But I didn't think they were insanely AI.
So are you just like playing with different AI voice things, or why were you doing that?
Well, yeah, just playing with the Quen 3, like this one.
No agenda is my guilty pleasure. Donate.
I mean, I didn't think that was horrible.
That sounds very fake to me.
Well, everything sounds fake, though. Actually, real women sound fake.
Those guys really brought the value today.
That one sounded more like anime-ish.
Yeah. I think that's the issue, as I think they...
Well, if you train it on anime.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. We have to find something that was trained on like a bad microphone with somebody who doesn't really enunciate.
Okay. See, but this
something that sounds real.
That would be one of my questions then. Does it sound more real if they're less understandable and less sound like a TV presenter?
Probably. Because the term, I would say, like if let's say AI wasn't a big topic of a conversation that we had in general, I would just say that's really overprocessed.
Right.
But since I know it's AI, it just sounds like most AI sounds, and not to be Adam Curry or anything, but it's kind of fake and gay.
So you add a little room reverb, you add more stuttering to like the speech, and then not necessarily fully stuttering.
I think you could do this with just text. Just have the person do what most normal people do, which is say a word and then realizes they're saying it, that there's a better word they could have used, and then just say that right afterward. So you want run-on sentences. You don't want well-written sentences.
Right.
You want a less clean sound. A reverb would be one little thing to add on there, but it just maybe make the pauses between words a variable length instead of all exactly the same perfect length.
Right. So it doesn't sound like an audio book. This is all the stuff that has to be written in now to the code, which is to randomize a bunch of things.
Yep.
And you're right. Exactly. What you really want is to be trained on less than perfect audio.
Yes. And that's the problem, is that everyone has wanted to make AI sound really good. And what you get with now is AI sounds so good that it only sounds like AI and not a human.
It's unrelenting. It's unrelenting. Just when you thought we were going to relent, it's unrelenting.
If you hang out on the Mighty No Agenda stream, it should be Adam and Dave. Podcasting.
Well, we're back to doing
2.0.
jingles and themes and things.
But it's under 10 seconds.
Okay.
So it's not like long. It's just.
It's unrelenting. It's unrelenting.
Well, it's long if you do it twice. Jesus, man.
What if you do it 3 times?
Well, then that would just be insane. Insanity.
It's unrelenting. It's unrelenting. Just when you thought we were going to relent, it's unrelenting.
Donate, and we'll see you back here again next week on Friday.